Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, that time of the week that you just can't wait to be with us for your coffee. And so I forgot my coffee. You have coffee, so good for you. Thank you for representing. Looking back.
I have pre-coffee.
Pre-coffee, all right. Looking back, we just finished our series, God's Church, Our Family, and we capped it off with sharing life together, our value that's last on our list, but not least in importance. Sharing life together kind of almost summarizes the whole series, as we kind of talked about on Sunday. So in the spirit of sharing life together, I wanted to ask you guys, when you were in university or that time of life before you were married, but after you had lived at home, you're living away, and you have new roommates, what were some of the most interesting or funny, humorous stories? Like, share one or two stories about, sharing life together. Well, actually, living with a roommate, like we said on Sunday, that they're not necessarily synonymous. But anything come up?
I mean, lots of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's interesting that just on the sharing note, right? It seems like that is one of the hardest lessons we all have to learn right from, the earliest age.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes to sharing life, it's like, you force two strangers into a box and see what happens. I mean, it's everything from learning that your roommate has like very vivid, wild, almost terrorizing dreams to, another in a different year who like never studies. And it's just like, no, I need to study. No, we can't go out. Like, it's like, and trying to mesh the schedules and, so everything. But also being that roommate who waits till, let me put it this way, starts printing their paper at 15-page essay that's due, and you start printing it at 4 a.m. when you finally finished it.
And not only
these
that,
are the days of the dot matrix printer.
Then,
so your roommate's trying to sleep.
It takes a half an hour just to print it.
Right, so you got to start early. Because
especially
all
if
of
there's
that.
a printer error.
100%.
Out of ink.
So many things. So I do cautiously share tales about. So my kids love to talk about the roommate who this was first year of college. Circulating amongst the dorm was a list of like 99 ideas to terrorize your roommate kind of thing. I was unaware of this list.
And was your roommate the author of this list?
My roommate was well aware of this list decided to try implementing as many as they could to see how long it would take before his roommate, which was me, caught on. Never caught on. And so, there was definitely a few different things that went on.
Was it the last day when you were moving out where he's like, hey, did you know?
No, it was years later.
It was years later.
It was years later when after time in churches, doing life, and then entering the world of the NAB, where this other person was a pastor in the NAB, and went, oh, by the way, we got talking about. It was really funny that their first words to Sheena were, just so you know, I'm a different person now. I don't know what you've heard. And so, it was
great.
It's good times.
This is a friend of all of ours now, and that's awesome. How about you?
Well, they might not be friends anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I've seen them hang out.
I'm pretty sure.
They're work acquaintances.
They're friendly anyways,
I actually had almost the opposite. Mine was actually quite mild.
Oh, okay.
So first year, I ended up with a guy who was on the volleyball team, and so they would have practices, and like we had a very different schedule, so we didn't see each other very much. He had one or two odd tendencies, but we just didn't really connect, and I was hoping that we were going to connect a little bit more, because leaving home, it was a whole thing. Eventually, you kind of connect with the whole dorm, but 3 weeks in, he's like, can I get a different roommate?
Oh,
but it's only because he was with the volleyball guys, and so they were together 24/7.
Yeah,
and I was actually trying to get on the basketball team. Ended up in music, so I was kind of all over the place. I didn't quite land with a group yet. So then, so that was that, and then I had a room to myself for quite a long time.
Okay.
Then I ended up going down the hall to connect with somebody else. Second semester, I ended up with this one guy who he was just kind of socially unaware a little bit, and he just wanted to tell me everything about his life all day, every day, and really wanted us to connect on a super deep level, but he only wanted to do it super late at night. So then I'm laying there and I'm being a really good listener, and I'm just dying, and but I would say none of that prepared me. Growing up with a family of 4 boys, you're just used to roommates. We even shared a queen bed at one point for a whole year, the whole thing. But then none of that prepared me for being married, because in college you go to the cafeteria and your roommate's going to sleep in, and then he's going to go to his class and you're going to go to over there, and you never really see each other, you never really connect. Your lives are very, very separate. You get married, it's everything together all the time in the same direction, and trying to work that out to go from a single person that goes as you please to we are just together all the time, which actually ended up working for us, because when you have all the same interests, connections, friends, everything, it actually taught me more about sharing life together in that first year of marriage. More so than college ever did.
No, that's a good segue, because that's exactly.
And I would say, much better roommates than my college roommates.
For sure.
So, when Kevin described life with brothers, did you start picturing Willy Wonka?
Well, I pictured my own family, because I have 3 younger brothers, you have 3 older brothers. My brain's like, I didn't realize Kevin kind of grew up in the Willy Wonka kind where
of
the 2 grandparents are,
Just about.
That's great, No, I agree, I had roommates all through growing up, but there's something different about sharing life together, which you do with a spouse or with a family, than there is with having roommates where you're in and out, and we get to know each other pretty well, but not really because we're trying to share life together, right? And I think that was you segued into that. So sharing life together, Chris, when we first started turning on the camera, you said you had all kinds of thoughts. I'm just really curious where one of those trains leads. Do you have? Are you ready to share a little bit?
Sorry, the train left the station, headed on a different set of tracks. Because you said train, but my brain was also like, I wonder what Kevin's roommate wanted to talk about late at night. All his special interests. Was it trains? Was it cutlery? Was it which?
It was girls. Who kept on friending him, and he wanted relationships with them.
I see. Okay. Right. So it wasn't so much like a niche hobby topic of.
But it wasn't also. It wasn't even girls at our school. It was girls back home. I don't
know these people. I don't know.
Love you, Josh. I love you, buddy.
I got
don't care.
Because I very much, while listening to the sermon, felt like my brain was headed in different directions. But one of the ones I think was really important to camp on, that you kind of suggested, is that when we develop community, the importance of not having that be too much like of a same kind of thing. Like, we need people in our lives who are like us, but also very different than us, and everything in between. And I meant to highlight an article that flashed up in my feed that I didn't get a chance to read to, and I forgot to bookmark, and I want to go back to find. But just even the importance of that politically, of having a church that's diverse. And I think a great example of that in my own life was, I think back to like the high school, college years, doing like spiritual gift assessments, right? And it kind of then they rank you on, here's your right? And this won't be a shock to some people, but do you want to guess what was always the very bottom basement for me?
No, I don't want to guess.
Because you don't want to be wrong. But it was almost always mercy,
Oh, interesting.
the gift of mercy.
Oh.
And no doubt, then it's not surprising that, and I haven't actually seen Sheena's scoring in any of this, but I'm going to guess that mercy's like the top.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Right? And I think that one of the ways that has benefited me over, the 19 and a bit years of marriage together is I do think I am a more merciful person today. That there's something about that has grown because we start to value certain things as a family, right?
Yeah.
And so, just as one illustration of sharing life in a way that helps us become more rounded and more Christ-like.
Yeah.
And I don't know that would have happened if I had only surrounded myself with people who, were much more,
No,
black and white or whatever.
You're right. Like, both for so many reasons, we need diversity within our community that we share life together. One is that all the gifts are coming out.
Right, exactly, yes.
But also, it represents the world we live in. It's very diverse. God made that for beauty and just so many different perspectives that help shape each other. I remember my mom said to me when I was really mad at my brothers, or one of my brothers, God has put the people in your family that you need to learn to understand and deal with, right? And that's always stuck in my head. But I think that, if there's somebody that we really struggle with that's in our community that we're trying to share life together, there's a real reason God has done that. Probably me, right? To be working on me for patience or whatever it is. So, yeah, that's a really good point.
I would say, as much as we think that's a church thing, that goes right back to God's original intent. God spoke to Abraham and said, this is a whole earth, every people and tribe and tongue and nation and all these things.
Yeah.
That's going to be the people that I care about, right? And that's who, I want you to go to see. And for me, this whole sharing life together really comes back to the ample amount of one another's in the New Testament. Making allowances for one another and considering others, and there's just something about that just really brings a lot of this together, and it takes me off the pedestal as much as in that first year of college you're like, this is all about me. This is all about my education, my focus, the things that I need to get through, to we're actually in this together, right? And I'm not the only person on earth that.
It's nothing that really exposes your selfishness. That first, start trying to live life together with someone. Marriage does that, or becoming part of a church family does that. Having kids does that. Oh man, I realized I had an anger problem, I have a selfish problem. Yeah, it comes to light, and then God works on us, right? Sharing life together. When you think about all the fruits of the Spirit, all the fruit of the Spirit, it starts with love. That is you can't do that by yourself. Then it breaks out love into joy, peace, patience. All these things are communal, And so,
for the sake of the community.
Right.
We can't really share life together without them.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna want to find our own cave,
right?
And be away from people if we're not loving.
So I think the challenge is, in a world where we tend to cocoon, where we tend to press the garage door open or drive into our garage, shut the garage door and nobody sees us, how do we go out of our way to try to share life together more,
Well, and even in the New Testament church, that realizing that the necessity for expansion, because looking at the way that Pentecost went, but also they were actually taking on all these other things. The way that they were actually taking care of the was it the Hellenistic Jews that but there was issues with that, right? But the need to actually open up and create that wider depth as well too. It also makes me wonder how in our context that matters too, because sometimes I get it wrong. Sometimes I say God's family, our church.
The title of our
The
series,
title,
right?
right. So, but it's God's church, our family.
Well,
So
it's kind of neat because that's not really wrong. It's just different than the way we.
it's not really wrong,
Yeah.
but I actually think it's wrong because if it's God's church, which is worldwide, and our family, which is kind of Lakeview, but it is connected to the world. If you reverse that, then it says, okay, what is God's family? God's family is our church. And then when we have our walls up this high, we don't see that actually there's another place that God is working in our city, even within our community, even within our own families, even within our own church. And we bring up all these walls that says it's all about making the thing smaller. Whereas it just feels like when we say it's God's church, it actually creates a larger community around that as well. Like all of a sudden, we're connected to Cameroon, we're connected to Romania, we're connected to X, Y, Z. It just makes it much broader and more beautiful for me, even just to be reminded of that.
So sharing life together. I'm curious. Sharing life together. Sincere curiosity. Hey, Romania.
Yep.
You guys are going to be sharing life together.
We are.
In Romania and leading up to Romania.
Yeah.
How is preparations going? What's going on now?
Preparations are great. So it's it's funny because right before we gathered here, I was just getting updates and stuff on the trip and connecting with our Romania people and one of the key things, whether we're sharing life here with our families, flexibility is so important, right? And it's just like, that might be a little change there, but that's fine. But what was really cool is just kind of having our daily schedule as part of that. It's like, we're going to get up every morning, we're going to have breakfast together. And then we're going to have devotions together. And then we're going to, and that, it's like, you can just kind of see like, this is what we're going to do together. And then we're going to do these different things and everyone's going to go here and there and we'll do all that. But, and then we're going to come back together at the end of the day and we're going to have dinner together and we'll do that. And that's really cool. That's really fun. And so I'm excited for that. That's really good. We got our 9 together, 8 plus myself, and we're starting to meet, starting to do, and it's a challenge because we all have busy lives outside of this, right? And it's like, okay, but we need to, so then you have to prioritize, and you got to make time to be together, and that sometimes is a hard lesson for us, right? We want everything just to click together, and we think that'll be true of our relationships, and we got to really make time for the important things. So
in some ways, you're building a family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
like you have to have these people connect with each other and have this deep love for each other, so that when you're in the trenches, they have each other's back. Right? So like you're building sharing life.
Absolutely, and it's so good. It's so great. But you kind of, one of the last things you said was asking about a question about I can't remember how you said it, but what it brought me to was even just the way we shared life, on Tuesday night. Right, Tuesday night we had our West Kelowna United, and it was our youth group. There was 5 of us there as youth groups, and then a few other churches who have some youth that probably are more connected to other youth groups. They were also there, and for us, I counted almost 140 people. Maybe I missed some, but to have about 140, filling the space, and we're there, and we're different, right? Like our youth groups have different feels. Our churches sing different songs. Some same, but some different. We worship God differently, but we have so much in common in that we're there because of Jesus and for Jesus, and we worship together. We shared some laughs together in a goofy little game. We had a couple youth share testimonies, and I shared this with the youth leaders. We had the newest youth, I'm not sure if his title is pastor director, but the newest youth guy in town kind of shared his testimony as part of it, because we wanted to be very testimony driven, right? So we had 2 different youth from 2 different groups share testimonies, and then we had the youth guy, and I kind of joked about how the tradition is that at the Good Friday, we shove up the newest pastor and he has to preach, and now here we are.
Yeah.
I did that. It wasn't our intention, but we're kind of following that model as our seniors model for us. But we had and it was such it was one of those nights where I'm just, various points of the night, sometimes I'm at the back of the room just to get some air, and sometimes, more with our youth, and just such enjoyment of it. I'm like, these are the moments where it's like, I just go, I have the best job in the world. Like, this is what I get to do.
Great.
And it's sort of like, I wish we did more of this. Not just as youth groups, right? Like, I love that we do it 3 times a year, but just as the church in general, just coming together for just no other reason but just to worship and just enjoy the shared family, right? It's like to enjoy that God's church big over picture thing, even just in West Kelowna. And it was so good. And so I'm so excited that like I mentioned, like Good Friday comes along, and we get to lead into that.
And it is awesome to be able to try and recreate in small ways what you guys get to do on that Tuesday night. And so what we've done over the last few years, almost the whole time that you and I have been here, it's been a joint Good Friday service between all the kind of evangelical churches on the west side. So this year, Friday the 3rd of April at 10 a.m. at Emmanuel Church. You can join us there, and there is a Good Friday joint service happening there, and all of our pastors around the West Kelowna area are going to be somewhat involved in that, and it's really cool. We were talking about college. It does seem like, when you take the new guy, throw him on stage, it does feel a little bit like, freshman hazing of like, oh yeah, it's the rule, just so you know.
Well, we tried to soften it. We just be like, just share your story. Tell us. That way you don't have to, hopefully it's not a big, and he killed it. It was great.
I love to hear stories like that. I would love to hear that. That's great.
So we get to hear from one of the newer pastors in West Kelowna on that Good Friday. And then 2 days later, Easter Sunday celebration here at 10 a.m.
So leading up to that, this Sunday we're starting a 4-week series to lead up to Easter, kind of like we do with Christmas. You've actually referenced that quite a bit. Easter Advent, right? Like we talk about the Advent season of Christmas, 4 weeks leading up. Well, we're going to do that starting this Sunday for Easter. So believe it or not, it's 4 Sundays away. And so we're excited about celebrating Easter together. So,
I kind of can't believe nobody's come up with a term for that yet. Shocking to me.
They have, it's just longer.
It is, So, hope you're having a good day and that you're enjoying March, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Have a great week.